What's up, witches? What's up? What's up? Ooh, there's 10 of you. Hey, what's going on? What's up, witches? How are we? What's up? What's up? How we doing? Hi. Hi, Divination Witch. Hi, Betty Boop. Hi, Chantal. Hi, Amy. Hi, Awakening of Tony. What's up, guys? Hi, Eddie. How are you? Hi, Acme. Hi. What's up, guys? Look at me. I was like all prepared. If you'll notice at the top, I have a pinned comment for you guys, lets you know what's going on in here in case you are new to the room. And then above that, I think it's above that. It looks like it's above that for me. It might be below for you guys, but then there's a poll. Shout out Mariah. There is a poll that you can vote in for which deck we choose a support deck from. So if you are new here, at the end of the reading, we like to wrap it up because we pull from a number of different decks to get a really well-rounded reading. And towards the end of the reading, we like to pull one card from what we call a support deck. So a non-traditional tarot deck that can offer us some additional support for the week, in addition to what we found from the tarot and the oracles. So there is a poll posted for you, and you can go ahead and vote for which support card you would like to have pulled. Yeah, that way we have a vote. So I hope that that works out for you guys. I was like earlier when I was setting it up, I was like, can I put the poll in now? And it let me put it in early. So hopefully that helps. See if I can look at it. It looks like the Herb Crafters Tarot is already in the lead with 35% of the votes. So we'll keep that going for all of the reading, okay? What's up? What's up? Hi, Rollins. What is up? I am well. I have been well, Eddie. Thank you. I hope you were too. Hey, Jessica. Welcome back. Yeah, you missed last week. That's okay, love. Good to have you. Oh, Bianca. Hey, Bianca. Bianca's got a new name, Amethyst Moon. I like it. Welcome. Hi, Josie. Hi, Miriam. How are you? What is going on, guys? Hello. Hi, Terry. How are you? I love seeing so many members. What is up? So for, those of you who may be new here, I'm Allie, aka BronxWitch, and we do this every week. This is the live weekly tarot reading for the collective. So it's a collective message that we get to help us kind of plan and prepare for the week ahead. We pull cards from the Oracle deck, from tarot decks, and a couple of others in order to give us, like I said, a well-rounded idea of what the energies are going to be like this week, and how we can work with them so that our week is good, as good as can be. So the way we do things here is we usually start off just by talking to each other, catching up with each other. We talk about whether or not last week's message came up for us in any way, what we did on the full moon, all of that good stuff. Definitely drop below if you did a ritual for the full moon. We'll get into it. So yeah, we talk a little bit, get to know each other. A lot of people here are already members, so we hang out outside of this on Zoom for the Witch of Color support group and the book club, which is having its first meeting soon. So this is kind of our central meeting place. So we do catch up with each other. Then we talk about announcements. I let you know if there's anything going on with me and with my shop, Bronx Witch Bodega, or with this channel. We talk about astrology, because as above, so below. I'm not an astrologer, but I do like to touch on certain things because you were here last week, you saw the big fat full moon right on the Thursday spot, so astrology always ends up showing up in the cards, no matter what. So we talk about it and how that might impact the collective energy. And then we pull cards. So if you're not able to stay for the whole time, no worries. I try to always save these. You can always come back. if you are going to hang out, I definitely recommend taking notes. I know a lot of you already do this, but just because we talk about stuff that is in the future. So on Friday, you're not necessarily going to remember what card came up for Friday or what the message was. So I recommend taking notes. That way you don't have to come back to the video later. Hi, Tina. Welcome. Where you get your veils? What veils? You mean my head wraps? These are pashminas. They're supposed to be scarves. They're $5 pashminas that I get from down the block. And I just get them in like every color. And they're not good because, you know, they're cotton. So you're not supposed to have like cotton wraps on your head. You're supposed to wear like silky things, satiny things for your head. But they just tie the best. You know, I can just tie them on and then good to go, and I don't have to worry about it. They like not never, but they rarely like fall down or anything like that. So I know it's not good, but yep, good old $5 cotton pashminas, baby. That's the secret. So after we talk astrology, then we get into the cards, and notes can help. All right. Anthony is here. He says he voted. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So how was everybody's week? Let's kind of skip ahead a little bit and kind of get into astrology a little bit, just because I'm super curious about what you guys did for your full moons. What did you do? Did anybody do any rituals? Did anybody cast anything? Did you do any meditations? Please tell me, even if you didn't get to go outside, you at least got to crack your window and see the glorious moon and all of her goddessly glow. I think the last super moon of the year. So beautiful. Awakening of Tony says, listen, I nearly got locked up. You know you got to spill the details. Hey, Butch Tarot in the house. Woo, 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 woo. Thank you, Butch Tarot, for that super chat. Stay up. Love and light to you. Love and light right back to you. Real quick, just in case you guys don't know, if you give a super chat donation, I use it to make my blessings bags, which are little brown paper bags with granola bars, organic fruit snacks, little Poland Spring water bottles, all wrapped up with a sticker and in a plastic Ziploc. And I carry those around in my neighborhood, and I give them to people who are in need. Anybody who asks for money or says that they're hungry. I don't give out money in my neighborhood. It's kind of live in the hood, but I do want to help. And this was a way for me to help. So I started doing that a little while ago, and I used the super chats to pay for it. So I very much appreciate you. $13.99 Canadian goes a very, very long way, let me tell you. Also, because of your super chats, guys, I got to upgrade my snacks, okay? So in this batch of bags, we have organic fig and blueberry gluten-free bars and organic raisins and fruit snacks. Okay, so we're working up. All right. Next, I'll be adding like toiletries and things like that, like a little toiletry kit I want to add to them and stuff like that. So thank you so much. Okay, Tony says, I don't know, my son's grandma started arguing and took my son, and I was ready to fight. Oh gosh. The family drama can be too much. My husband's going through family drama with his family, with his sister's family, kind of similar stuff going on. It's never fun when your family's going through stuff. It's always really, really hard when it's family stuff. So I'm sorry about that. Ursa Luna Eddie says, sis, spirit's been working. I'm doing the work, seeing the results. By the way, I realized that I was missing patience and a good reason. Okay. I know what you're talking about, Eddie. Got you. That's what it was. Amethyst Moon. Bianca says, I read the affirmation before pulling a tarot card. I hate to say it, but I guess I got annoyed by the card I pulled, but I understood it was the message I needed to hear. Ace of Swords in reverse. Nature's Bakery, says Mariah June. Bianca to hear. Nature's Bakery. Wait, what? Huh? Did I miss something? Amy says, Cancer, listen, it's still been emotional. I've still been, I'm a crybaby anyway, you guys know that, but it's been, yeah, Cancer season is one of my least favorite. It's just so, it just, everything, you know, makes me want to cry. Everything I see. Oh, is it Nature's Bakery? I don't know. They're kind of like square instead of long. And they have like fig and blueberry and strawberry. They come in like a gray box. I already threw the box away. So I already put them in their little baggies. I got a lot done too. Annoying and stressful for Bianca. Yeah. I can't even listen to true crime without crying. What had me crying earlier today? It was a random post. Oh, it was, do you guys follow, I think it's pronounced Kiera Gaines or Kier Gaines. He's this young Black guy who's married, and he does like all this motivational speaking and like educating on like emotional and spiritual health, especially for people of color. And he was like recently featured by Oprah. Anyway, him and his wife, they just announced that they're having their second baby, and they did like a fun little video to like announce it or whatever. And look, let me tell you, I don't, babies are cute and all that, but like I do not get emotional over baby stuff or whatever. And I was like really having a hard time not crying over this. I was like, oh my God. So it's definitely still very high energy in terms of like the emotional coming up type stuff. The moon is in Pisces today, I think, another emotional watery sign, you know, so the sun and the moon in watery places, I would imagine, contributes to that continuing for a lot of people. But the moon experience was amazing this past week. Full moon in Capricorn, like I said, I think it was the last super moon of the year, and it was beautiful. It's the strawberry moon, so everything I did was all strawberry oriented. I got fresh strawberries from the farmer's market. I got a strawberry liqueur gin that I never heard of. I drank an entire bottle of strawberry wine to the face during my ritual, which is, I have to tell you, weird for me now. I used to bartend for 15 years, and I used to drink like a fish. Not wine, whiskey, and beer, like a fish. I haven't really drank like that in a few years now. You know, nothing more than like maybe a beer or wine when I go out with a friend or something. So yeah, this was definitely a whole different spirit at play during this full moon for me to polish off an entire bottle of wine in the course of like, you know, midnight to 3 a.m. But it was powerful. It was beautiful. It was very feminine, you know, needless to say, but also very earthy. It wasn't very emotional. It was very grounding. I felt very like held and oriented, and it was just really beautiful. It was really, really beautiful. And then at the end of the full moon, like Saturday night, I went out to my crossroads and poured out that strawberry liquor to the goddess for each of the, you know, spirits in my crossroads. So it was beautiful. It was very like simple. I planned on doing like stuff. I was going to do like spell stuff. I was going to make some powders and like conjure some stuff. And none of that happened. It was just me and that bottle of wine there and the moon. And it was really beautiful. I was up till like 5 a.m. So it was pretty beautiful experience. So I'm glad you guys had awesome experiences too. No wonder Bianca wants to flip a table. Flipping the table. Right? Moon in Pisces. It's like, no. Isn't it so bad? Yeah, I don't usually do like sweet wine, but it was good. Ooh, strawberry milk. That sounds really good. Strawberries with the ancestors. Yeah, it was just me, the goddess, and all my spirits, and a big bowl of strawberry rhubarb pie that I cut into pieces, and strawberries and bee pollen and like St. John's wort and linden flowers and like the flowers that I got from this past 2 weeks harvest. yeah, like I said, I had all these plans for things I was going to do and make and all this stuff because I was like, oh my gosh, full moon energy. I have to make this. I have to make that. It's going to be so good. So it was like, nope. It was me on the floor in my circle in front of the mirror with a bottle of wine, nothing on, the moon through the window, music on. Yeah, it was great. It was pretty great. My husband's out of town, so I had the whole place to myself, and it was just me, myself, and I. So I really hope you guys got some really awesome energy from this full moon too. Yes, for sure. And I was careful about that too. I was like, let me not start drinking this one before I get started on this work I'm trying to do. Like, let me cast circle, let me clear up, let me do everything first. And then I'll crack the wine and pray and all of that stuff. And even still, I was like, nope, I'm not doing anything but just being in this space and letting whatever flows through. And it was really, like I said, 5 hours later, it's like 5 a.m. and I'm still up. That's beautiful, Bianca. Made moon water and charged your crystals. That's amazing. I totally forgot to charge my crystals. I didn't put them out. Or make moon water. So, everything that we did, I think anything that you did, even if you just took a moment to look up and go, oh my God, look at the moon. You know what I mean? You took some time to feel that energy. So, strawberry milk, that sounds so good. That is disrespectful. They took strawberry milk out of middle school? Why? What's the beef with strawberry milk? They have a problem with that? That's weird. Anthony had already mentioned it in the comments, but shout out to everybody who came to the Witches of Color support group meeting. It was so fun. Drop a BronxWitch emoji if you're in the comments and you came to the meeting. Just say what's up with any of the emojis. I so appreciate you guys being there. It was beautiful. It was really good to actually see you guys' faces, hear your voices, talk to you, connect with you. It was super cool. I think it's going to just get even better and better with every month that passes. So I am so glad you guys got to be there. Oh my God, yes, Mariah, tell us about this silent meditation retreat. So Mariah said that she went on a silent meditation retreat, and that's why she wasn't able to be at the support group meeting, which is totally fine. But tell us more about the silent meditation retreat, because that sounds amazing. Yes, I'm seeing the emojis. Don't cry, Tony, next time. Next time, no worries. Any tips on using lunar energy to charge when you get no moonlight in your apartment? Ooh, that's a really good question. For me, I have always associated a glass of water and a flame as like the physical moon on my altar. So you might be able to kind of visually recreate for yourself that image of the moon with a circular goblet and a flame behind it that kind of gives that like circular look. I keep a clear quartz glass, and this in front of the candle gives you like that moon vibe. So perhaps a sphere crystal, maybe even a sphere moonstone. A sphere moonstone right on your altar, then you literally have a chunk of moon, right on your altar. And if it's circular, I think that could definitely help you to still call that energy in. Because that's hard. It's annoying because that whether it's a cloudy day or you're in a different location or you're, whatever, that the moon is still there, but not being able to see it does kind of make it hard, I think, sometimes to like really get into that place. So those of you who follow me on Instagram, if you saw my stories, you saw my binder clip situation. I figured out that if I take some binder clips and I clip the bottom of my curtains, I can open the top part of my curtains so that way I can look up at the moon, but my neighbors, which are straight across from me, can't see me. At least I don't think they could see me. They gotta show if they could, but I don't think they could. So it was perfect. So I was able to literally lay on the floor, looking up with an angle at the moon, with it coming down on me, but directly ahead of me was still covered because I snapped, the curtain closed. So you definitely got to get creative in an apartment. Mirrors might help as well. If you are able to position a mirror where the moon is, let's say on the balcony or on a windowsill, you might be able to project that in. When my ritual was over, the last night of it, I wanted to sleep under the moon, but my bed doesn't face that way, so I moved my mirror so that I could lay and see it. And I did that. So your mirrors could help too. Perfect. Perfect. Mirror and a white candle. Mirror and a white candle, exactly like that, because then you get like that diffused light coming back. Right. Yes. Wait, hold on. What did Mariah say? It was intense. I recommend people go for at least 5 days. It took a couple days just to settle into the silence. Wow. So you're just like quiet in a cabin with people for like days? That's crazy. I love that. I feel like that'd be kind of intense, So do you like just like, is it just eye contact with people and stuff like that? It's kind of crazy. Is it difficult being a witch in the city? I'm in Kansas, but I'm considering moving there to be closer to family, but I have priorities. Is it difficult being a witch in the city? Yes, in the sense that, especially if you are a very nature-oriented witch, not every witch is. If you are a very nature-oriented witch where your rituals, you really prefer to get out into nature and have like privacy and nature and stuff like that, yes. But the flip side is when it comes to like access, so access to occult shops, access to botanicas, access to witchy groups, meetup groups, covens, churches, spiritual groups, cities, I think kind of win there just because, high population, you got a lot more, available to you. That's easier to get to, public transportation, stuff like that. So, it kind of depends on what your priority is. But yes, doing nature stuff, doing anything, in that regard is harder than it would be if I lived in the country. You got to make more of an effort. Plants. That's why the witches of the apartments have so many plants, because that helps you to connect with nature that you actually know is like not gross. So, awakening of Tony. Is that your ancestor? Where, bitch? Where? Where? Hell no. I hope not. I have a no visuals rule. We do no visuals around here. They can touch, but I don't want to see anything. Yeah, no, I get too creeped out when I'm by myself. So I kind of, bitch, were. Were though, for real. That's crazy. Nobody's here but my cat. Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I think it might be a shadow. Okay, maybe it's probably me. I have like 60 different lights because I don't have like proper lighting equipment, so I just put a bunch of shit on. So, okay, so Mariah says the retreat is called Ananda Retreat. If you Google silent retreats, you can find one near you. Wow. You're in the cabin alone, but do group meditation sessions, eat together and stuff, like an silent adult summer camp. Yeah, that sounds kind of dope. I would do that. That's really deep. I would totally do that. Wow. Okay. Where were we talking about the full moon? Yeah, what does Ananda stand for? It does sound like a Sanskrit word. Tater tots, what's up, tater tots? What else is going on? So shout out to support group people, book club people. We are getting started next. We start our first book, Sacred Woman by Queen Afua, on July 1st-ish or around there. Or maybe you started already, it's fine. We're going to be reading that for the next 2 months. We'll be reading it for July and August, and we'll be meeting twice, once towards the end of July, once towards the end of August, to talk about the first and second halves of the book. We'll read passages, we'll talk about the exercises, we'll check in with each other weekly on the community tabs. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this book with you guys. It is one of those books where like you get the most out of it by actually following along with the exercises in the way that the author recommends. So I think I'm going to go live probably the first week of the month just with the book club folks to talk about like recommendations for how you can do that, how you can follow along with the exercises and stuff, just so people don't feel overwhelmed by that. So they feel like they, we're in this together, in case it seems overwhelming. So we'll do that. First book club meeting is on July 24th. That's Saturday, July 24th at 1 p.m. Eastern. So get excited for that. You still have time to get the book and get started. And you can get the book for $11.99 on my Amazon storefront. So you can get click the description and my Amazon storefront link is there, or you can just go to bronxwitch.com and on the discounts page, you can go to my Amazon storefront for discounted stuff. Okay. Betty Boop's already on chapter 3. Yeah, I got started too. I wanted to have an idea of what the schedule was supposed to be so that I could answer you guys' questions. So definitely, if you already have the book, feel free to get started. It does, like I said, seem like you'll benefit the most if you take your time with it. So if you want to get started now, go ahead and get started now. All right. Yeah, Josie, I saw that about the enemas. I was like, the thing is, I fast once a month, and this might be TMI, but I basically kind of do that to myself with herbs. So I just feel like I don't need to introduce stuff into my body. That's usually not my approach to handling things. I'm more of a let the body do its thing kind of thing. So yeah, exactly. Same thing, Mariah. I'm not really about introducing things into my body, especially in my sacral region. I feel like it's got that under control. I just went to the doctor. I have a pap smear coming up. I think we're all good. So I don't feel like I need to introduce things into my body. But I absolutely understand why detoxifying physically as well as spiritually is important to your overall health. So I do. Josie, there you go. I use senna as well. I make a tea called Skinny Spice. I don't know if any of you have tried it, but I'm a big fan of my tea, Skinny Spice. When I feel like I need to detox or kickstart a new diet, or I was eating badly for a period of time and I need to flush myself, I'll do 14 days of my senna tea, my Skinny Spice tea, and that takes care of it. Trust. So I don't need to do that. But everything else I'm down with. Yeah, everything else I'm down with. I was really excited to see that a lot of it is already my practice, but switching things to focus it on my womb. Taking it out of just the general connecting with spirit and focusing specifically on connecting with the womb. So I'm looking forward to it. Still have time to get signed up. And if you're what is she talking about? What is this membership? What are these groups? There are a couple of videos I can help you that I'll try to remember to link above, but you can just click the link in the description box that says membership access, and you should get more. You should see the videos I made with all the info there. Okay. And then I just, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. I did not prepare myself, but I want to give a shout out to the new members who are here and who have joined since last week. This music's kind of intense. Let me know if it's too loud. Okay, so since last week, I want to give a shout out to Juanita Blau, All Things Irene, Bia Hempel, Sula Grant, and Lady Leo, who upgraded. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate that. I'm excited to get to know you better. I'm sure everybody else in the group is excited to get to know you better. Members say what's up to the new guys. Memo Tape says, new subby here, just tuning in. Love that I saw this just after I finished my first ever self-reading with tarot. Yay! Awesome. Welcome, Memo Tape. This is the reading for the collective, for people who may be just coming in. We come together every week to catch up with each other, chill, just hang out. But we also talk about a little bit of astrology for the week. We talk about anything exciting going on in our lives, going on with me and my shop. And then we pull some cards for the week. So welcome. And welcome to all the new members. Super shout out to you guys. And super shout out to the supporters. Much love to you guys. Even though supporters don't get access to the videos and the groups and all that good stuff, their contributions are super important. Everyone's membership fees goes to growing this community and all that we're doing, but supporter fees are being used specifically to help witches of color who would like to be a part of the support group and financially cannot. I am happy to say that we already have a couple of sponsorship folks, a couple of people who are going to be covered for this month and next month's membership in the support group. So thank you so much, supporters. Your membership fees are helping witches of color find community, which is something that's particularly difficult for us. So thank you from me to you, from them to you. Thank you very much. So you guys are awesome. Let's see what's next. My shop, BronxWitch Bodega, opens up on Saturday the 3rd at 12 noon Eastern. I shut my shop down for a week at the end of every month because all of the things that I make are my herbal blends, and I make them fresh every month for you guys. So I shut the shop down so I can do that. This week is shutdown week. So I'm making soaps, I'm making blends and all of that. And the shop will reopen on Saturday at noon at its new home. I don't get tired of saying this. BronxWitch.com. Woo! Doesn't it just ring? It feels so good. Horrifying and good. Thank you guys so much for making the transition from Etsy to the Bodega's new home, my official website, our official headquarters. If you have any questions about anything I talk about, these decks that we're going to use, the memberships, the mailing list, YouTube videos, anything, everything now can be found at bronxwitch.com, and the shop will be opening on Saturday at noon. Yay, Josie, I'm excited. Everything is being restocked, except for a couple of the crystal pipe options that I'm still waiting for. And I don't know, should I spoil this? I'm gonna spoil it. I'm gonna spoil it because it's just you guys. I'm gonna spoil it. I found the yoni seeds, guys. They're gonna be available on Saturday. We're in business, okay? We're in business. If you're in the book club, you're reading the book, you want to do the yoni steams, you don't know what to do, you don't have a steam box like I do, I got you. Okay? I got you. I got the seats. They will be available on Saturday. Yes, I'll be putting them together with steams, with yoni egg crystals, so you can get your whole yoni situation together in one bundle. I managed to find them in time to make them available on Saturday. So for those of you who said yes, it would be so convenient to have yoni seeds listed in the site. So when you get your steams, you can go ahead and get yourself plastic reusable seat that fits right on your toilet. Pour your hot water and your steams right in it, and you can sit right there and steam. Yes. Oh my gosh, Mariah, YouTube flagged your comment because you say coochie. Our coochies are about to be so divine. Let me tell you, for those of you who have not yoni steamed before, it is a life life-changing experience. Life-changing experience. I prepare to cry. I prepare to cry, okay? Look at that, Tessa. The stars align. Yes. You will be taking care of your yoni. I have rose quartz yoni eggs. I was thinking about getting other crystals, and something just tells me no. Like every time I keep looking at other ones, nothing resonates. Everything just keeps saying, just keep it to the rose quartz. That's the energy that like we really all need. It's just that gentle, loving, healing energy. We don't need anything else going on over there. Never done one, Betty Boop. Oh, I so recommend it. I so recommend it. I'm definitely going to make a video about how to do them. I realized that would be really, maybe useful for people. Just because it's like one of those things where it's like obvious, but also not obvious. It's like, okay, yeah, steam some herbs and sit over them, but also what? So I figure I'll make a video on how I do it because, like I said, I have a steam box that I bought for myself. So now I have a whole thing that's ready to go. But before that, I used to do it in the bathtub with a pot. So I'm going to make a video about how to do it in the bathtub with a pot, and also how to use the toilet seat version now that we have the seats, so that people have a little help. Yeah, there's a whole, there's things to keep in mind, how hot to have your water so you don't burn your kuchachi, what things not to put in your water, like essential oils and things like that. So I'll do a whole video on that good stuff, okay? So yeah, so the shop opens, and that, spoiler, that is going to be just one of the new things in the shop. So I'm excited for Saturday. And what am I drinking today? Condensation is real because it's 90 degrees in here. You guys see those leaves down there? I'm drinking linden leaf tea. I guess it's an infusion because I left it for quite a while. I left it overnight. But from my herb harvest 2 weeks ago, I got linden, which I am making into an anxiety potion. I don't know if you guys remember last year, I made winter potions, winter medicine with the fall medicinal herbs and roots that I got, because you guys said you wanted them listed in the shop. Those all sold out, so I'm really happy, and all the reviews are really good. So I'm glad you guys like that. So I'm going to do another batch of summer medicine with the herbs that I get from 2 weeks ago and from this upcoming week. So it's going to be like late spring, early summer medicine. So last week we got St. John's wort flowers and linden flowers. I like to work with just the flowers for making stuff. And then I like to use the leaves for magic. So I felt like drinking the leaves though. So you don't usually drink the leaves. You usually drink the flower part with the like little leaf looking like thing. But I was like, I'm going to drink the leaves because why not? It's not as sweet and as floral as the flowers, which is like to be expected, but very good. Linden is wonderful for anxiety and stress, incredibly calming to the nervous system, and soothing to the digestive tract too. Linden is in my tea that everybody loves, if I may say so myself, Bye Bye Blues. So this summer she's going to be in, I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to do like single flower potions or if I'm going to blend them. Because last week I made, put together, they'll make over the next few weeks. But I did St. John's wort and I did linden flower separately. And some of you guys know in Bye Bye Blues, there's St. John's wort and linden. They both are great for anxiety and stress and elevating your mood. So I'm trying to decide whether or not to go with single flower potions or whether or not to combine those two into like a more powerful anxiety potion. I haven't decided. Last year, I went with 2 botanicals per potion. 2 flowers or 2 herbs per potion. This year, I'm trying to decide if I want to just feature each individual flower that I work with this summer, or if I just want to stick with like combining the herbs that work well together to pack the biggest punch. I think I kind of answered my question, because everybody really liked the potions last year, and that was because they're effective. You know? Like, I think people liked being like, oh, I'm tasting this, but I think people like it because at the end of the day, it needs to work. So I think that I might do that. Yeah, Bye Bye Blues is a hit. Ooh, enjoy. Mariah's about to enjoy some Lift Off. That's one of my smoke blends. Yes, I saw your email. Enjoy. Passion flower tea. Chantal is drinking. I love that. Lots of water. Amy Lily, great. Josie's drinking water with lemon. Betty Boop's got fireberry tea for immunity. Cranberry hibiscus, rubus tea, rose hip, rose petals, elderberry, sweet blackberry leaves with a bit of ginger cold brew. I like that. Yum. Josie also says a yoni steam video would be helpful. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to do that. I'm assuming this would be good if I'm going to be doing some shadow work. It's good regardless. It's good regardless. Some of your shadow work might be attached to trauma in that area, certainly. So I can absolutely see those things being connected. But it's just good, honey. It's just good for hygiene, honestly. Even to take the spirituality out of it, it's just yeah, it's good. Keeps hydrated. It keeps everything balanced. Natural cleansing. It's wonderful. Tony's having Waltza. The nectar of life. Very good, very good. Okay, so real quick, astrologically, last week was crazy. We kind of already talked about the full moon and what people did. We had Mercury coming out of reggaeton, so everybody got to put their chanclas away for the time being. What else happened? It was the solstice. We had a lot going on. So this week feels like, that quiet after the storm type of period. The moon is in Pisces right now, so you guys know I'm heavily influenced by the moon. This may not be the case for you. So what I have personally learned with astrology is obviously we're all under the same sky, but we don't all feel energies the same way. And depending on your birth chart and what planets and whose house and whatever, you could be impacted by different things. I happen to be a Libra moon, and I feel the moon's phases very heavily. And so, for me, it's not a coincidence that moon in Pisces and the sun being in Cancer, the tears are still pretty easily flowing, though it's a different vibe post full moon. I will admit a lot of important things happen that day, so it's a different vibe. But going through the week, we have the moon moving through Taurus, like moving through the phases up until Taurus. We're moon in Taurus on Sunday, which is the 4th of July. And when I was looking at the calendar, that just made me laugh, because when I think about Taurus energy, one of the first things I think about is home, staying at home, being comfortable in your home, redecorating your home. But it's not necessarily like a super socializing energy. And I just love that that's the energy for the 4th of July, because I don't know about you, but the 4th of July is just a day to stay at home for me. If it wasn't in the past, certainly, in the last few years, learning about Juneteenth, learning about the truth about the 4th of July, not that I think I, previous to really understanding that, ever really thought that emancipation in a true philosophical way had been accomplished, had happened. But I did definitely think that legally everybody was like aware. So I know that Juneteenth is like new news to even a lot of Black people. And over the last few years, it's become increasingly important for me to really like celebrate that day. And I wasn't one for celebrating the 4th of July anyway, because I was a bartender, so I was always working. But definitely now I'm even more motivated to be like, yeah, no, you get not nothing from me. 4th of July. So Taurus energy, 4th of July, yeah, I'll be staying home. I will be staying home. I can promise you that with certainty. Mariah too. Tony doesn't really celebrate it. All Star says you make smoke blends to smoke in a vape or for ritual healing purposes. Okay, those 2 different questions, kind of in the same. So I make herbal smoke blends. They're made from organic herbs. They are primarily medicinal. So they are formulated with medicinal herbs to serve a purpose. Cramping My Style is for alleviating menstrual cramp, pain, and things of that nature. Wusa is for alleviating anxiety and stress, and irritability. Doing it is for helping to stimulate your libido and your stamina. So if you are feeling lethargic or having like low sexual drive, it can stimulate that. Liftoff is for enhancing your psychic development. So that one is more spiritual than medicinal, but it's more, I would say, a blend of medicinal and ritual, because then you have Liftoff, which is for increasing visions either during divination or sleep or meditation. It has like blue lotus and mugwort in it. And then there's Solstice, which originally started out as a seasonal blend, you guys, because chamomile is in abundance right now. But you guys are loving it. It keeps selling out, so it might have to be an ongoing offering. But Solstice is a seasonal offering that is like mood elevating. So that is made with herbs that do in fact elevate your mood, like chamomile and calendula and clipdaga, but it is blended to honor the solstice and to bring in that solar energy. So you can certainly smoke it for a ritual purpose, so kind of both. The blends that I make are loose herb. So I don't know that they will smoke in a vape that great. Obviously, they do have loose herb vapes, but the pens that I've tried don't really burn hot enough or have like big enough chambers for the loose herb. They're good for like MJ. I don't want to say the word because then YouTube will like flag me, but they're good for MJ. Because that's sticky and like tight or whatever, but like other herbs, not so much. So I recommend smoking my blends either through a pipe, and you can get pipes on my site. I have beautiful crystal pipes on the site. So I would smoke them through a pipe, through a bowl, like a glass bowl, or roll them in your thing of choice. I have pre-rolls available for you, which are rolled in raw brand, all natural, unbleached hemp, king size. Size matters. Okay, mine are king size rolls. I don't know if you guys know that. Pre-rolls for you, king size rolls. So if you don't want to deal with it, you can just get pre-rolls. So yeah, I hope that answers that. And yes, I make teas. Bye Bye Blues that everybody was talking about is probably like the most popular right now, I would say. But there's 12 teas, and kind of similar to the smoke blend, they are mostly medicinal. You could definitely drink them for ritual purposes. Like for example, Pardon My Swag, PMS, is a blend that I created to help with, menstrual cramps and your hormones and stuff like that. But it's also blended to connect with feminine energy and the full moon. I tend to make it on the full moon, like when I'm like restocking the big batch of it. And when I first created it, I created it in a full moon like ritual. So you can definitely use it in ritual purposes, in addition to the fact that the herbs, have a medicinal value. So, and everything is at, what was that? BronxWitch.com. Yeah. All right. What else? I think that's pretty much it astrologically for the week. Well, that I'm going to talk about. Like I said, I am not an astrologer. You guys follow an astrologer. I think I linked astrologer in the description for this video. I need to make the description for the video even better. But so that you can follow other people. But I definitely recommend following astrologers, getting readings, and just paying attention to what's happening in the cosmos. Like I always say, you guys have heard me say this a million times now. It just continues to show up in my own personal life that what is happening in the cosmos impacts the energy around me and does seem to show up in kind of predictable ways in my either me, literally my feelings, or how my life is kind of flowing. So it's not to be, oh, the moon is full, this thing is going to happen. It's not about that at all, but it has really paid off for me to pay attention to what's going on above and give myself kind of that heads up, so that I can be proactive and not reactive. Okay. Katrina, thank you so much. Unfortunately, my dear, you may have missed it. The shop is closed this week because everything I make is small batch and all natural. I close the shop once a month in order to restock everything, but it does reopen on Saturday at noon, okay? And you can check out the shop now. You can definitely look at everything. You just won't be able to order. So if you want to see what is in the shop, that's a good idea. Like I said, solstice, bye-bye blues, certain things tend to sell out kind of quickly. So if you already know what you want, that makes it a little bit easier on shop update day to not miss things, I think. So, yes, aloe, yes. I was watching, do you guys follow Minty Bong Water? I was watching Minty Bong Water, and he was talking about how his mom healed really serious burns he got as a kid with just aloe. I think that's the story. I think it was Minty Bong Water, and I think that's the story. Don't trust anything you hear on the internet, y'all. I'm 68.8% sure that story is correct. Somebody that I was watching on the internet recently said they burnt themselves real bad as a kid, and their parent cured it completely with literally nothing but aloe vera. Bible. Somebody said that shit. I think it was Minty Bong Water. Trust but verify. Okay, that's good. That is a healthy compromise. Trust but verify. Yes. Yeah. We do that in Jamaica. Yeah, we do that. My mom growing up, my mom had a whole forest. Now she lives back in South Carolina, so she has her outdoor fields. But when she lived here in New York, she had a forest in the living room, and we had all these aloe plants. And anytime anything would happen, we would love to run and go grab a piece of the aloe. And I just think about that now as now that I'm older, I'm I really owe aloe so much. I need to really be doing more for aloe, because as a kid we would just rip it off. No thanks, no appreciation for the aloe plant, And my mom took care of it. It's not like we ever bothered to care for it or do anything. We would just be like, oh, I have a cut, rip off the aloe. For us it was just a fun thing to do. Sorry, aloe. I was such a selfish asshole. you know? Yeah. Yes, it is, Tater Tots. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Though black people love them some vapor rub as well. But you're right. You know, my Latinx folks will use the vapor rub for some things that I'm fairly certain vapor rub can't help with. But but you know. So, all right, guys. Woo! I think that was all of the stuffs. Can't believe you guys put up with me and all my stuffs. So thank you guys. That was all of that goodness. If you are just coming in, this is the live weekly tarot reading for the collective. This is a general message for everyone who is here, all 32 of you right now. This message is for you. Take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't for the next person. I always encourage people to grab a drink, get comfortable, because we do go in depth for the week. We pull cards for all of the days coming up. We look at oracle cards, tarot cards. We've incorporated these awesome playing cards into the reading. So we'll be looking at the week in depth, and then we will be pulling a support card to help us get through the week based on, you know, what it was that we found. And there is a poll at the top of the comments right now where you can vote on which support deck you would like me to pull a card from. And that poll will end when we get to the end of the reading. So definitely vote now. There are 4 different decks, and I put in parentheses, instead of putting like the author of the deck or what have you, I put in parentheses kind of what the deck's energy is about, so that will help you in case you've never heard of some of those decks. Okay. Oh, I love Vapor Rub, Betty Boop. I am not asthmatic, but I love Vapor Rub. And my homegirl, Melissa, has a company called Templo Wellness, which you get a 10% discount off at, by the way. Go to bronxwitch.com and click the discounts page, because I have a list of all of the places where you get discounts with my codes. You get a 10% off discount code for her skincare products. And one of her products is her all-natural Vapor Rub. It is my Shazza. My Shazza. I do not have to have a cold. Let me walk by a cold fan for too long and just get like a sniffle. I'm like, where's my Vapor Rub? And I put it everywhere. And hers is all natural, so I can do that. I love it. Yeah, check it out. Templo Wellness. You get 10% off of my code, Rockstar10. So check it out. Oh, also, the discounts page is where you get information about giveaways. And some of you already know this, but there's a giveaway going on right now. I am giving away, it's basically like a divination starter set. It's a brand new box of the True Heart Intuitive Tarot Guidebook and deck. A brand new set of the Conjure cards by Jake Richards, which we'll be pulling from, and a brand new copy of Intuitive Tarot, the 31-Day Tarot Journal by Bridget Eselman. So that's a bundle, and I announced the winner on Saturday when the shop updates, but to enter, you need to join the mailing list, and the winner will be announced by mailing list email. So it won't be posted on Instagram or YouTube, so if you want to know who won, you'll need to be on the mailing list. And if you want to enter, you'll need to be on the mailing list. So tons of ways to join the mailing list. The easiest way is probably just to go to bronxwitch.com, put your email in the pop-up that shows up. But you can also go to the discounts page I'm talking about and scroll down to the bottom where it says giveaways and enter there. So plenty of ways to do it. Oh, you're so welcome, Mariah June. I listen, I love Rachel True's deck. I really do. I really do. Tarot snobs be damned. Really like it. Yeah, I thought her book was good too. I thought it was relatable, and I definitely, the stories stuck with me. So they definitely helped to illustrate the cards. And also I really like the fact that in the section that describes the cards, she went with low vibration, high vibration versus like upright reverse or negative positive or what have you. I think that's a really great way to look at the interpretations. And, you know, it seems kind of obvious, but I don't know that I've ever seen anybody describe it quite that way. High vibration, low vibration. So, yeah, from half and half. She's also from The Craft. Do you guys remember The Craft? Rochelle, the Black Witch. That's like, you know, the way you'll remember if you don't know already what I'm talking about. She then went on to do many, many things. Half and half is one of them. And tarot and, you know, witchiness, I guess, have been a part of her journey for much of her life, since at least the Craft days, or I guess before that, actually, is said in her book. And yeah, so I didn't know that until like maybe 3-4 years ago too. Somebody told me. Yeah, she does talk about the movie a little bit in her book. Yeah, witch canon for sure. I mean, for sure. Yeah, so if you don't know her from half and half, then you know her from The Craft. And hopefully you know her now from her tarot deck and guidebook, because it's pretty darn good, in my opinion, in my very humble little opinion. We all learned our first binding thanks to Nancy. Nancy, come on. I mean, that movie, whew, ciao. It does not matter what your path is. It doesn't matter what your tradition is. I think it doesn't matter. Maybe it matters generationally. I can only speak as a person turning 35. So, you know, I don't know, perhaps if you're much older and maybe not paying attention to what you know, was like a teenager's movie, you know. So if you were 40 when The Craft came out, you may not have watched that. So if you're older now, or if you're much younger and, you know, the Craft is entirely too long ago for you, then it may not seem like witch canon to you. So I don't know if it's a generational thing, but certainly if you are in kind of my generation, it is the quintessential witch movie, no matter what, you know, no matter what you practice or what. Yes. And yes, Mariah, that is definitely the trifecta. That is definitely the trifecta. Yes. Charmed, The Craft, Matilda. Yep. Because Matilda got us when we were real young. You know what I'm saying? The Craft showed us the dark side, and we were like, whoa. And then Charmed came in to be like, oh, but you can also be for good. And we were like, okay. That's what happened. Tater Tots, did someone say Matilda? Yes, Matilda! And classic Sabrina. Yeah, I mean, they're all, come on. These are all pretty much anything in pop culture that depicts witchcraft in like the most slightly positive way at all, or has like the tiniest hint of any kind of accuracy. All of the witches love, you know. It, you know, all of them, all of the classics. But all right, we can do this all day. And maybe when we do our private members only birthday pajama tarot thing that we're maybe doing, we can talk about all these movies and stuff like that. We'll do it on Zoom, so I can share my screen. We can watch like clips of the movies on YouTube. You want to watch witchy movies? Well, we should do that on Samhain. We should do a Zoom movie sesh on Samhain for the members. And we'll pull up Hocus Pocus, maybe. That'd be my vote. I will put it to a vote. But we can watch a movie. That'd be cool. Yeah, I think the sleepover, I think I'm gonna make it a thing. I think it sounds like a fun idea. You know? It falls on a Monday, so I already took the day off of readings. So, all right. Okay, guys, so I'm going to just take a second to center myself and stop thinking about hocus pocus and a million other things. And you know the deal, I'm not ignoring you if I'm not reading your comments. Chat amongst yourselves. Okay. All right, so a few things right off the bat. Few things right off the bat. I think that's the phrase. We have reflection coming through as the oracle message, and then everything in the beginning of the reading denoting that reflection, because everything in the reading until we get to the weekend is in the reverse. And reversals can be read in a lot of different ways, but what's coming through for me is exactly that reflection energy of considering the things that have come up during the full moon. So stuff that has been coming up for us emotionally, spiritually, and otherwise through the end of last week is continuing into this week, and it's our opportunity now to essentially look at that. And I'm seeing the mirror, and I'm seeing last week's card, that Ace of Chalice card with the reflection of the moon in it. It's almost like what came through during the full moon is still processing, still downloading, and so we will still be going through that process of letting it all literally sink in for basically all of the week. There's still more to like let that sink in. So reflection is our oracle message, and remember, our oracle card for me is our guidance and our advice. So and I like to pull it in the beginning so that no matter what we see, we already know what spirit kind of suggests in order to get us through. So if there's a question about, whether or not you should be using this week to go in or to give some further thought to what you began to understand last week, whether or not you have questions about whether or not this should be not an isolated week, but whether or not your focus should be on others or time spent with others, the energy here is more reflective. Literally, it's more self-focused. So not to say alone per se, but self-focused. So we have from the Conjure card that I pulled the King of Clubs in the reverse, and we have our Monday card as the King of Wands in reverse. And I definitely feel the energy of these two cards bouncing off of each other. So let's see what Jake Richards says about the King of Clubs. This is our new deck, and we're all learning how to read playing cards together. But we love the deck so much, so we pulled on it. Okay, so this is the Crucifix, if you did not already keep that. There's a dark elderly man set in his ways and stubborn about everything is how we would interpret this card in the upright, but we have it in the reverse. Let's see if it says anything about that. So some of the descriptions that Jake has in here talks about like the cards in the reverse. Some of them don't, because some of them don't really like change their meaning in the upright or in the reverse. So the King of Clubs is usually someone who's set in their ways and stubborn about everything. Although stubborn, they are typically a good husband if this is a male and knows how to get things done. In contrast to the criminal King of Spades, this is the just judge. If this card shows in a reading, whatever bad comes before it ends with him if it is undeserved. In the case of a curse sent against you, if it continues, it is justified. So that's the description of the card as Jake Richards describes it. And let that resonate with you if it does, if it means anything to you. I just want to give you guys that description since this deck is new for us. But of course, I always have to go with first and foremost what's coming through to me from that. So kind of back to what I was saying about its relationship to the King of Wands in the reverse. The energy coming through here is dual. There's both the energy of someone in your life as well as your position or place now that the moon has moved on out of being a Capricorn. It's no longer full, and we have this sort of downward period where the energy that was high at that time decreases. So first and foremost, as it relates to someone outside of you, as Jake Richards also said with his description of the crucifix, the energy here is definitely of somebody who is overbearing and stubborn, who essentially thinks they know what everybody else should be doing, and they have a tendency to let their passions get the best of them. So if you're dealing with somebody in your life like this, you may have had issues come up with them around the end of last week and around the full moon. You may have been focused in on that situation because now we're reflecting in on this particular issue and this person is coming up. So this person could kind of be self-righteous, that just judge thing that Jake Richards was talking about. In the reverse, this is really feeling more of the unjust judge, like the self-righteous judge, like, oh, I'm better than you because, I give to world wildlife, or I sacrifice this or whatever, or my passions are more authentic or more genuine, or my spiritual path is more true, or whatever, it is that people like to get on their high horse about. This is definitely somebody on their high horse who has a tendency to want to kind of lord over you. So you might be dealing with a situation with that person in particular. Again, that's why I always pull the Oracle card first. We already have our advice as it relates to that, and that is reflection. And that is definitely echoed by this card being in the reverse. If you have someone like this in your life and you're dealing with an issue with them, especially if this is what you're really focused on with any of your full moon activities, if you had anything, then the reflection on dealing with them continues. And this is less about trying to interact with them and more about talking to yourself about how do you deal with a person like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Awakening of Tony says, I'm here screaming. I love when it resonates like that for you guys. So that's what's coming through for those of you who feel like this is somebody in your life that you're dealing with a situation with. For those of you who know that the King of Wands in reverse here, the unjust judge and the self-righteous judge is you. Reflection, right? So if it's coming to your realization, like you might have been doing shadow work for this full moon, things of that nature. If it's coming to your realization that you have a tendency to let your passions get the best of you, maybe be a little too hot under the collar, maybe let your temper flare, maybe be too bossy, not in a way that's constructive. If you know that that's you, you tend to judge others, be self-righteous. Here's looking at you, kid. This week is about continuing to dig deep into that, because you realizing that about yourself is not enough. Work now has to be done to actually tussle with that part of yourself and, and grow from it. Yeah, it's one thing for us to realize our shortcomings, or, I hesitate to use the word flaws, that, is so negative sounding, but for lack of a better word, flaws. Eddie says again, patience and a good reason. Too much, right? Sometimes we need to kind of step back a little bit and not be so intense. Under normal circumstances, in the upright, this is a very positive energy. We are a leader. I don't know if my camera is focusing on this. My big idiot does what it wants. Sometimes it does. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Pretty, huh? In the upright, the energy here is really great. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of leadership. There's a lot of direction. There's a lot of energy and stamina to get things done. But in the reverse, it can be too much. And the message here from Spirit is reflection. So greater self time, giving more thought to how we are interacting with what's going on. My temper being bad lately can definitely be that King of Wands in reverse energy. It's a little too fiery, or fiery that's misdirected. And so the reflection here can be, why is that happening? Or, what have you. For each of you, it'll be something different. The Monday card always sets the tone for us in terms of the vibe for the week. And so here we are in the reverse, and we're in the reverse all the way through to the end of the week. And we have this really interesting symmetry with wands on the end, chalices, and a sword in the center. So that balance feels very harmonious. And we're moving towards the new moon, and I always like new moon time because the moon and the sun are in the same sign when it's new moon time, and there's a lot of harmony there. So we aren't there yet, but I just feel like that harmony kind of like being ushered in, especially with all these cups cards. We are talking about our continuing flow of emotion. So if you thought it was going to dry up, not quite just yet. There's still more release going on this week, specifically 7 of Cups in reverse, 9 of Cups in reverse in the Tuesday and Thursday positions, where we still have a lot to unpack, a lot to still discover. When I think about the 7 of Cups, or I think about the 9 of Cups, we have all these cups full of emotion, full of stuff, full of trauma, full of victories. It's not all bad. Full of successes, and that's the same as victories, I guess. Happiness, all stones that you accomplish in your life, things like that. Blessings of any kind. So it's a mixed bag, when it comes to our emotions and the experiences that we have had that have left an imprint on us. And this week, we're still, as I say, reflecting on that pretty heavily, it feels like. 7 of Cups in reverse is letting us know that, as we start the week, we have been given the opportunity to really see what all of the different aspects of ourselves really are. Like in the upright, the energy is like, I have all of these things in front of me, and I could choose any of them. I could work on this about myself. I could work on that about myself. I could explore this. I could try that. I could grow this. I could grow that. And in the reverse, this is just, it's all internal, it's all internal. This is all about internal goals, way, way less than it is about anything that's on the external. So this is the type of stuff that you think about that people wouldn't even necessarily see, so much. This is like changing your mindset and how you see all of these different aspects of yourself, more than making a choice about anything outside of yourself, Bianca says, man, I've been getting stuff about getting my goals together too. I'm realizing a lot of things I'm interested and passionate about, maybe too many. Maybe too many. But that's what this reflection is about. That's what this period of reflection is about. 7 of Cups, 9 of Cups in reverse. This is too many, essentially. It can definitely be that energy for some of you where it's like too much. Either way, it is a lot. It is a lot to unpack and explore, and there's a lot of personal changes that you want to do. So it all happens on the inside, and that can definitely feel overwhelming. It's like, oh, I want to change 10 things about who I am as a person. How do you do that? Because how did you get to be who you are as a person? You just lived your life. It wasn't like you made a choice. So other than just living, how can you make the conscious decision to work on yourself? Spirit is saying that is where the reflection comes in. Perhaps that means taking one thing at a time. Perhaps that means, I don't know, reaching out to someone for help. For everybody here, it'll be something different, but the answer we already have is reflection. So greater, more time to yourself and exploring this is necessary to kind of, I guess, figure out which of these things you should be focusing on, or are they, is it all of them, et cetera, et cetera. And we have the message of the unjust judge, that self-righteousness energy, that misdirected energy coming through here as sort of like, this is what needs to be checked, and this is what needs to be focused on. So if you have a lot of things personally that you would like to work on, that you would like to grow. Spirit is saying this issue here should probably be numero uno. So for some of you that resonated as my temper, for some of you that resonated as being judgmental, for some of you that resonated as someone in your life who's overbearing or misusing their authority or their drive. However, that King of Clubs reverse, King of Wands reverse energy resonates for you, that's what needs to be focused on and paid most attention to, even though you may be in the process of emotionally dealing with all of these other things. They're not necessarily going anywhere, but the focus needs to be on this. So that can help. King of Swords comes in the middle of the week in the reverse to kind of offer some assistance in the like directional organizational energy front. I immediately got like Virgo energy here. So if you can tap into that, I think that would be really helpful for some of us making these changes or reflecting on this part of yourself that you want to work on is going to involve planning of some kind. So those personal goals are going to actually require you to, yes, emote and go inward and, maybe shed some tears and face some things and all of that deep emotional stuff, blah, 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 blah. But you also will need to pull out pen and paper and maybe do just some planning for how you actually want to go about accomplishing these things in the, in the nitty gritty, in the material. You have the emotional, that part is like already happening. You're already getting to the point where you just feel like overwhelmed with any sense of like moving forward with this energy. This energy here is very overwhelming. So if this is somebody in your life or this is you, this energy is very overwhelming and it's outpouring as of late, bringing up a lot of things as of late. There's some like past energy coming up, back in the day energy, things you maybe haven't thought about in a really long time, people you haven't talked to in a really long time kind of popping up, that kind of stuff where you're dealing with it emotionally, yes, for sure. But the Wednesday card kind of pops in to say if you weren't already planning to plan some things, it might be good to take advantage of Wednesday's energy and do that. Okay? Put some pen to paper and say, okay, what is this diet plan going to look like? What is this? Am I going to take an anger management course? What is that going to look like? Am I going to start meditating? Whatever, am I going to talk to this person? Am I going to bring in a third party to help us mediate? Am I going to excommunicate them out of my life because it's not worth it? This week is about reflecting on what we're doing with this energy, and we might need to actually do some writing, organizing, and this could be journaling too. So it might not be like technical type writing. It might be more like free form, because we are talking about in the reverse, that inward mental energy. It might be kind of like I'm seeing like, like that automatic writing type thing. It could be that type of writing. So it might not be, a to-do list specifically, but for some of us, it will be a to-do list type of thing, excommunicate them, be gone. Hey, that might be your answer, you know what I'm saying? For all of you, it will be different, for sure. Moving on, like I said, we have this balance of the Nine of Cups and the Seven of Cups, and they're sort of flanking the week. So, this really kind of comes together. It's not necessarily that like, on Tuesday, I will be emotional, and on Wednesday, I will make this list, and on Thursday, I'll be emotional again. It's really more that these cards are coming together to paint a picture of like in the heart of the week, we will be reflecting on this issue, and there may be, some emotions that have not yet, like you may think you're done, but you're not done kind of thing. So there may be still some emotional stuff coming up where you feel like you can just, mentally you're thinking, oh, I'm fine, I'm over it. I cried it all out last week, or I cried it all out and I'm good. But there might still be some stuff that needs to come up, and we do this, we pull these cards and we ask for these messages so that we can be proactive. So when that happens, we're not taken off guard, and it doesn't throw us for a loop, and it doesn't make us feel like we're losing traction or we're not making progress, or that we slip down into a sad place or anything like that. This comes together to kind of let us know that those things are still coming up. But I feel really optimistic, I guess might be the word, about the King of Swords in reverse being there in the middle to kind of add this sort of practical element to the situation. So it's not all just about feeling this stuff. It's also about like making plans for forward progress. You know what I'm saying? Four of Wands in reverse. A lot of us are feeling this energy in our homes. So for those of us who are vibrating on a frequency of like King of Wands reverse, King of Clubs reverse is me. This is, my fire that needs to be brought under control. This impacts our comfort at home. And I find it interesting that this comes up because or at the Friday point, because the moon is moving into Taurus right around that time. And like I said, when we talked about astrology, that energy for me is all about being at home and working on what is going on in our home. So we have the Four of Wands in reverse, and I feel that connecting and flanking the week with this King of Wands in reverse. So for some of you who feel that this energy is a person in your life, this could be someone in your actual home, and discord and discomfort with them is kind of the issue that we need to reflect on and focus on and deal with. And for those of us, like I said, who felt that the King of Wands is us and talking about working on ourselves, this Four of Wands in the reverse is more about being comfortable in your space. Something that if you've been pushing too hard, being too trying to make things happen in a way that isn't flowing naturally, or letting your your fire, your passion get the best of you, and not bringing in that kind of cooling water energy to soothe things down and soothe the way. This is having an impact on like your physical space and how you feel in your physical space. So reflecting and taking that time to check in with yourself and let yourself feel these things and get organized is going to potentially help you out with your physical space, because right now it's not, the energy there is not super great, and that continues throughout the week as you delve deeper into this stuff. And you get the opportunity to kind of address that. So this weekend we might be doing some house cleaning for some of us. All right, June says definitely reflecting on whatever came up with the full moon. Yeah, I know personally for me, not that this is about me, but what came up for me during the full moon is the kind of thing that I have to continue to reflect on. It's definitely still sitting with me, and like it was one of those things where after my rituals were over, I sat down to like do my usual journaling about them, and I haven't been able to like finish my journaling. Like I keep going back because it's almost like I keep forgetting stuff. Like I keep being like, oh yeah, and then I felt this thing, and oh yeah, there was that time that the music like just lined up with this thing, and this thing happened, and so it's like stuff is still, the significance, I guess, of things that happened during my full moon ritual are still unfolding. So that kind of makes sense for me, especially the journaling about it kind of message. Moving into the weekend. Collect myself. I think I said this before, I know I said this before, I can't remember when, but I said this before in a previous live with you guys about how I would be really interested to see what everybody's schedules are and whether or not we all are currently doing things where um, during the week maybe we're working or in class or whatever doing one thing, and then on the weekends it's a very different vibe, because I've noticed that we have a tendency to really like shift energy around the weekend, and that happens pretty consistently with us. So it's happening once again where our only upright card is in the Saturday position with the Six of Pentacles, and then we're back into the reverse but with the Six of Wands, and we have this like balancing energy here. So even though one's in the upright, one's in the reverse, they're very much like just coming together to kind of just create the picture of the weekend having a particular vibe, you know? So for some of us, the very first thing that came up was definitely on the financial, which is very on its face. I know Six of Pentacles, it's like Pentacles, money, but that was just like the very first thing that came through was like, yeah, no, this is for sure a money thing for some of us this weekend. It may be necessary to, have a give and take situation going on. You might need to ask someone for money. Someone might come to you asking you for money, and it's very much related to this situation. So it's kind of an opportunity to maybe do something differently. Okay, this is flowing. So for some of us who feel that this is an individual in our lives, this person is potentially going to need something from us this weekend. It could definitely be money, but it could be some other type of resource, but it's most likely like it feels physical. I need this from you. I need that from you. And if this person has a tendency to get carried away and want to rush to you to like pay the bill, pay the way, be the, they're the idea person, but you're always the one who has to come up with how it actually gets done. Whether you have to actually pay for it or you have to figure out how it gets done or whatever, this might come up again for you guys this weekend, and you have an opportunity to handle it very differently and assert yourself, and kind of fight back and say, look, I'm not always going to be the one to be giving things out. For those of you who feel that this energy is about you and you're exploring how to work on this, unjust judge, I get carried away with my own impulses type of energy, the message here is about finding that balance between what you give and what you get from others. Because if you're living in this energy a lot, whether it's someone was talking about their anger issues, whether you are really judgmental, whether you get like maybe kind of ahead of yourself with your passionate pursuits, and you don't necessarily think ahead of time about like, how is this going to impact my finances or impact my resources, and other people have to step in to help out, or things like that. That for you could potentially come up this weekend again, where you want to show out resources, money, etc., that you maybe don't have, and you have to confront this part of yourself that potentially gets a little maybe carried away with your pursuits and doesn't, have a game plan so much for how you're going to actually get that done. So remember that the oracle message here is reflection. So that might be, do we really need this thing? Is there a different way to do this? Can I give energy somewhere? It almost feels like community service, or bartering. Can I give time or resources some way to somebody in order to get what it is I want, or to do this thing that I want to do, rather than, going about things my normal way, full steam ahead, where I just pay for things, or I just buy things, or I just spend or whatever. And I just think I can just beat it back with, like, spending money. Maybe I can be more. Six of Wands in the reverse is getting creative about overcoming your challenges, especially if you feel like you have to tackle them alone. If you're tackling that mountain alone, if you're tackling those challenges alone, and you have a tendency to maybe jump the gun, that might be coming back around to bite you and keeping you in this place. So that could come up this weekend. You might need to, face that or handle that situation a little bit differently. This energy is getting creative, not just shelling out coin, but like, what else could we do in order to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish? We might need to spend some time thinking it through, rather than shelling out dough, or making a quick decision about that. Acme pulled the Six of Pentacles and the Death card this morning. So that might be quite an issue for you. Amy says, same. Okay. Ego and spending. Oh, that's coming through for you guys quite a bit. Yeah. So. I see that, Acme. All right, guys. That is the message for you of the week from the Tarot, the Oracle, the playing cards. We're carrying this full moon, not carrying it, but taking what we learned, it looks like, and developing that further, and kind of reflecting on that, whether it be an issue with someone outside of ourselves or it be ourselves. This continues throughout the week, like I said, until we get to the weekend, where we get that first sort of jolt of a change of energy, where our attention is more outward again, not so solely inward. And we either need to deal with a situation of give and exchange with potentially this person in our lives, or with ourselves, confronting how we handle that decision to give and take. That's funny. Someone asked me yesterday for $20. That's funny. All right. So it is time to check the poll, guys. It's time to see which support card we want to pull from. I'm going to just repeat what the deal is, so that people who came in late and didn't notice it can participate, especially now that we've had the reading and you have a better idea of what the message is. You might have a more evolved view on what support card you think would benefit you best. So we have 4 different decks that are tarot style decks, but they go deeper, and we use them to basically find support for what we have to go through for the week. It might be an herb, it might be a flower, it might be doing some shadow work, it might be casting a spell, and each of these decks is based on one of those things. The Botanica deck is about connecting with flower energy, which might support us. The Herb Crafters deck is about connecting with herb energy, medicinal herb primarily. So this might help us find a tea or something to work with for the week. The Words as Wands deck is a collection of spells and rituals. So that would help us find a spell or ritual to work through this. Though I'm kind of ritualed out from the full moon, aren't you? And the archetype cards, like I said, help us to do shadow work. They look at the overarching energies that all of us can tap into to help us decide which one of those need to be, worked with, confronted with, embraced this week. So I will give everybody 2 more seconds to go ahead and vote for their deck of choice, and then I'll end the poll and we'll pull our card. I used to do jazz during these lives, but Monday might be for blues, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's just got that something. Okay, countdown. Countdown to the end of the poll. You're loving the blues vibes? Okay, cool. Let me know if you're loving the blues vibes. If you're a member, drop a BronxWitch emoji to let me know you love the vibes. YouTube is messing up. It keeps buffering. Oh no. Oh no. I have full bars. I never know if that thing is like, that's the truth. I don't know. Hopefully it's okay. I do think I gave everybody enough time though, so hopefully you got a chance to drop it. I'm seeing a lot of emojis about the music. Hija de la Tierra, hi, welcome. You like the blues? Nice. Bresky loves the blues. Good, okay. I'm getting lots of positive vibes about the blues. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Okay, so it looks like the Botanica deck has won, but you know how this thing likes to F with me. So I'm going to officially end the poll, and then I'm going to wait until it posts its thing before I say what won, because every time I do that, it says something else. Oh, now this time it wants to actually be accurate. Unbelievable. All right, with 30% of the vote, you guys have chosen the Botanica deck by Kevin J. Stanton. This is the deck of flower cards. They are so beautiful. Another new deck that we haven't worked with too much, so I'm excited. Yes, right, Mariah? It was 27%. It changed those 2 to 26%. See? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it must be like a rounding thing, because it's probably like something point something, and then it has to figure it out. But keeps playing with my emotions. Okay. These cards are so pretty, you guys. I don't know if my wacky camera will show. So beautiful. Gold, foil all around. Really pretty black matte prints of these paintings that the artist did. And you can find out more info on this deck and all the decks in the description box. Okay. All right. They're still really stiff though. But I'll do my best. Okay. Let's take a second. Connect to this flower energy as I drink these flower leaves. As I drink these linden flowers. Let's see what the botanical world has for us in terms of support as we reflect on everything that's come up for us in the full moon. rah. So pretty. Let me show you. You know, you want to do it for my camera. Can y'all see that? Sort of, kind of. Never does the thing. There you go. Oh, there you go. Woo! Oh. Okay. I love this. This is a plant, apparently. Oh, with a talisman. It's a plant with a talisman. This looks like, it kind of looks like chickweed. But let's see. Let's see. It is a sword card. And it is the Knight of Swords. Okay, here we go. Oh, I was looking at the little flower at the top instead of these guys here. This is what we want to be looking at. That is the Venus flytrap. You know? The flower that eats. So we have the Knight of Swords here, and it came out in the reverse. So first about the plant, we have these carnivorous plants have the fastest reaction time of anything in the plant kingdom. They have a surprisingly beautiful flower as well. That's the little flower up here. Right? What was it you said? Who was it who said America's Next Top Wiccan or something like that? Or Wicca's Next Top Model? Either one like that. Okay. These carnivorous plants have the fastest reaction time of anything in the plant kingdom. They have a surprisingly beautiful flower as well, a small spray of white rising above the traps below. The symbol is a silver gorget made by the Cherokee, as they used pieces of this plant as fish bait. And in the reverse, it refers to an ambitious braggart, someone who will use people and exploit their weaknesses for their own ends. And in the reverse, that is definitely pulling up on this energy of King of Wands in reverse. This is Knight of Swords, so this is a little more talkative, hence the braggart part of it. A little bit more flashy and talkative, but it's a very similar energy of being kind of overbearing and overpowering, maybe judgmental of others. I'm kind of better than you. So this might be someone in your life, or, you know, hey, this is the work that we're doing. This might be you, okay? And so the Venus flytrap in the reverse comes through to kind of indicate that sort of similar energy of being a little overpowering, to the point of being maybe dangerous, you know, not so deadly, right? Like in the upright, you're really deadly. In the reverse, you know, we can maybe have a chance for escape. This is not to say that you're like awful or terrible. And like I said, if this resonates with you as somebody in your life, this is not to say necessarily that they are the worst. But their influence is definitely potentially damaging, like the talisman here, referring to the fish bait. You know, it can be, ooh, shiny silver hook, and then you go for it and not so great. So the fly trap kind of comes through here to illustrate the qualities of either this person or of ourselves that we really need to reflect on this week. Reflection. And you guys saw by avoiding the archetype card that you wouldn't have to do any exploring of the self. I don't know. You know? So definitely for those of us who resonate on the King of Wands, King of Clubs in the reverse energy being ourselves, you know, we have to confront that Venus flytrap energy of ourselves a little bit, where like we might be a little bit. We might be catfish a little bit. We might be clickbait a little bit. We might talk a good game and not be able to back it up, and then other people have to deal with the consequences. We might have hidden dangers underneath our flowers, and we need to confront that part about ourselves. Is we can tidy up all the good stuff, the flowers on the top, but we have to confront the monster. The monster underneath, and so is the case if we're dealing with someone like that in our lives. They may not be all terrible. There might be flowers on the top, but this week does bring us to a point where whatever comes up with them over the weekend, we have the opportunity to confront this energy. And I feel that fly trap energy with the Six of Pentacles of like reaching up to grab coin, time, resources, whatever that might be. So that's the word. That means the word, yo. Ooh, it's 9 o'clock. Oh, I gotta go watch Boots. All right. So yeah, guys, that is the Masaje. I pray that it resonated with each and every one of you. Remember, this is about the week upcoming, so if it doesn't just yet, stay tuned. Definitely take notes or come back to this video in the future to rewatch and remind yourself of what the message is for each day. See how these messages play out in your life. They can help prepare you potentially for things that might come up so that you can be proactive instead of reactive. Or for those of you who are learning tarot, I found doing my weekly reading and then coming back to the cards for each day was a great way to help me with like getting to know the cards and things like that. So you can definitely do that. Did you say hoops? Oh no, Boots. I watch Boots Tarot on Instagram. Boots Tarot, celebrity psychic tarot reader. If you don't know, you need to know. Just look it up. Thank me later. Thank you guys. It was so good seeing you guys. It was so amazing connecting with all the support group people this past week. So thank you guys for being at that session. It was beautiful. I'm getting really excited to see all of you book club folks at the end of the month. Like I said, I think I am going to go live at the beginning of the month just to touch base with you guys about how you might want to read the book and go about doing the exercises and stuff. But that would be just for the book club members. So if you're not yet a member, I definitely encourage you to look into it. You can click the description box for more information, or you can go to bronxwitch.com and click on memberships. Oh, you're welcome, Tater Tots. You're welcome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. Please remember to drop a like on your way out so I know how you guys enjoy this style of video, how we're doing things. How did you like the poll? Does that make it easier? Was that fun? Leave me comments. Let me know how you like the live, All right, guys. See you later. Blessed be. Have a great week.